Are you interested in studying different human societies around the world? Would you like to examine different groups as well as their religions, social behaviors, and political affiliations? If so, you might be interested in becoming a sociologist. In this video, we're going to help you answer the question, should you become a sociologist in 2021? We're going to go over the latest salaries, job market statistics, and the latest trends. Coming up. Hey everyone, Stephen Hack here with Career Watch, where we help you with your career search. If you have been enjoying the video, hit that thumbs up to support the channel. Also, if you are a sociologist, leave a comment below, join the discussion. Let us know what you enjoy about the occupation and what you dislike about the occupation. But first, what is a sociologist? Sociologists develop theories that aim to explain the issues and problems that occur in society. These problems could be related to different religions in a given society, different ethnicities, and different cultures. It can be extremely abstract because you're studying different cultures. Sociologists also study why society is changing, either for the better or for the worse. So first off the bat, what is the average salary of a sociologist? Well, this first set of data is from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. It doesn't include overtime and other benefits. Sociologists do fairly well compared to similar occupations. In 2019, the average base salary of a sociologist was $90,590. So in 2019, sociologists tended to out-earn geographers, psychologists, and survey researchers. But sociologists were out-earned by economists and post-secondary teachers. A post-secondary teacher would be someone that teaches after high school. This could include professors, community college instructors, and others. The wages of sociologists have been rising over time. In 1999, the average base salary for a sociologist was $47,310. This rose to $90,590 in 2019. This comes out to a total wage growth over this time period of about $43,000. On average, sociologists are seeing about $2,000 of wage growth every single year. This means that in 2021, the average base salary of a sociologist would be $94,712, and by 2029, this would rise to $111,000. But this is a national average base salary, so there's a lot of variables that influence the salaries and wages of sociologists. A starting salary for a sociologist might be around the 10th percentile, which would be around $47,000 per year, whereas the top 10% of sociologists earn more than $141,000 per year. And there is quite a gap between a starting salary and someone that's late in their career. There's almost a $95,000 difference between the 10th percentile and the 90th percentile. Geography also plays a role in the compensation of sociologists. The state of Pennsylvania actually tends to pay sociologists the greatest wage. In the state of Pennsylvania, the average base salary for a sociologist was, in 2019, $127,000 per year. Other high-paying states include the state of Oregon, New Jersey, North Carolina, and the state of California. Work environment also influences their pay. State government actually tends to pay sociologists the greatest amount of money. This is actually super rare. In most occupations, state government actually tends to pay different people the least amount of money. So this is pretty surprising. Research and development is number 2, and the education industry tends to pay sociologists the least amount of money. Next, we're going to get into the biggest flaw of trying to become a sociologist in 2021, and that is the job market. This is an extremely challenging occupation to get a job into. In 2019, the government recorded 2,630 employed sociologists across the entire United States. In 2019, there were more employed economists, post-secondary teachers, psychologists, and survey researchers, although there were more sociologists than there were geographers. People that study sociology in college and get a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, oftentimes they become post-secondary teachers. The government here considers these two different fields, but there's many sociologists that become post-secondary teachers. The government breaks these two out. And as you can see, there is a fraction of the number of employed sociologists compared to the number of employed post-secondary teachers across the country. And it gets even worse. There are very few job postings for sociologists across the country. Using Indeed.com, I searched for different sociologist job postings across the country, and I only came up with 30 job postings at the recording of this video. So there's around 2,600 employed sociologists, and we can compare this to 30 job postings across the country, which means it is extremely challenging to get a job in this field. When we look at the number of employed sociologists over the years, the number of employed has risen and fallen. In 1999, there was 1,320 employed sociologists across the country. This hit a high in 2008, where there was 4,390 employed sociologists. Unfortunately, this was the peak. After 2008, the number of employed sociologists across the country started to fall. And by 2019, there were 2,630 employed sociologists. So there was a loss of 2,000 employed sociologists from 2008 to 2019. There's been very limited job growth in this field over the past 2 decades. Government is anticipating a little bit of job growth for sociologists from 2019 to 2029, but this is extremely limited. They're only anticipating about 100 more employed sociologists by 2029. As for where sociologists tend to work, many work in research and development, education, or state government. About 11% were self-employed in 2019. The next question you have to ask yourself is, would this occupation be compatible with your interests and personality? To determine if this occupation would be compatible with your interests, definitely look into taking a RIASEC assessment to figure out your Holland codes. After you take a RIASEC assessment, you get scores in 6 different themes, and these 6 themes are known as Holland codes. When sociologists took a RIASEC assessment, they tended to score high in the investigative and artistic themes. This isn't surprising at all. People that score high in the investigative theme tend to be really curious, analytical, and they tend to like researching information. They tend to love studying different phenomena. Sociologists also score high in the artistic theme. People that score high in this theme tend to be pretty creative people, and they tend to really enjoy self-expression. As for the most common Myers-Briggs personality type to become sociologist, it is actually the advocate, also known as the INFJ. This is actually the rarest Myers-Briggs personality type found in the United States. The second most likely type to become a sociologist is the ISTJ, the inspector. Third is the commander, the ENTJ. And number 4 is the architect, an INTJ. The other thing to keep in mind regarding this occupation is you definitely need beyond a bachelor's degree to land a job in this field. According to the Occupational Information Network, 23% of sociologists had a master's degree, whereas 77% had a doctoral degree. To get one of the 30 job postings across the country, you definitely have to beat out the competition, and you most likely really need to get a doctorate degree to be competitive. As you can see, there are pros and cons to becoming a sociologist in 2021. This is a great occupation for people that really want to study other organizations, religions, and cultures across the United States and the world. This is a great occupation for analytical types because they really get to study different cultures. Sociologists tend to make pretty good money, especially compared to similar occupations. They're only really out-earned by economists. They have had pretty good wage growth over the years, earning about $2,000 in wage growth pretty much every single year. The biggest challenge of entering this occupation is the job market. There are very few people working in this occupation, only about 2,600 employed sociologists across the country. Over the past 2 decades, there's also been very limited job growth. In fact, there's been no job growth for people in this occupation over the past 10 years. When I looked on Indeed, there were only 30 job postings across the country. So as you can see, this is a great, interesting occupation, but it definitely has its challenges. Are you a sociologist? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.